Hi guys, it's Tara here with Create Life Paper Words, and I wanted to share with you my Project Life number 14 of my monthly albums. So this one is on the left-hand side, it's pictures from the week in the life from May. So that's, I want to say like May 9th to the 15th or something like that. And then on the right side, it's pictures from, I believe, the week after. So I decided I wanted to use red, and there are a couple of pictures that have red in it. So that one with my daughter sitting in the little tunnel thing at the playground is the one that really stood out to me. And then there's also some red in the one on the right hand side with my daughter sleeping. It was an awful week where she decided she didn't want to nap at all. And I refused to let that happen because, of course, she's like 14 months old and babies have to nap. So when she finally slept, I was so excited that I took a picture of it to commemorate it, and I refused to move her or anything that might wake her up because she needed to nap badly. So just a little story about that and why I put it in there. And I'm going to document that because, Project Life is about documenting every moment, or not necessarily every moment, but the good and the bad moments. And that was a really, really hard week. And, we made it through and we survived. And that is something still to document. So I wanted to use this little highlights card. I've been saving it. It's from Gossamer Blues. I want to say their January kit. And I just hadn't found the perfect one until right now. And so I'm really excited that I finally got to use this card. I even had a little week in the life stamp that I used in the circle, and it was almost the perfect size for that little red dot in the middle. So I did a little bit of journaling, just a little bit about the week, which can also, of course, be found in my Week in the Life album. So just doing a little bit of stamping and writing on my photos, which I absolutely love. I got this new Slick Writer pen, and it is amazing. It's really, really nice. So if you're looking for a good photo pen, I would totally recommend this. I wanted to bring a hint of that, I guess it's like a cross between a lime green and an olive green color in. And it was because I found that little label tag in a die cut that I loved, and I thought, oh, that'll be nice to bring in with the red. So that's why I chose to do that. And then you'll see me as we go through this spread. I will be using a bit more green in the whole layout just to tie everything together. This Be the Best Version of You is from a Studio Calico kit. And again, I've also been waiting to use this one. I thought it was sort of funny because I am 31 and I just learned how to use the barbecue this summer. So I, of course, had to document it. My husband was so proud of me, and I think he was a little surprised too when I was telling him I was making burgers. So that's what I journaled on that this is the first time that I have learned how to use the barbecue. So it was a pretty exciting day for me, which is leading back to be the best version of you, which for me, it's always about learning and trying new things. So I'm going through this white box, or I call it my white box, but it's got all my sort of white colors, labels, that kind of stuff in it. I was having a hard time. I wanted to put something on here. And so I just sort of grouped, I guess, a bunch of stuff. Her room is so messy that I took this picture of, so I wanted to hide some of the mess in this photo. And I'm hoping that by using the arrow in the red, that'll maybe pull your attention more to what I'm actually talking about and not not the absolute mess. One of those stories again where my daughter loves just to pull stuff out and put it back, and that's what she was in the process of doing right there. She loves just to sit and pull all her laundry out and then put it all back in, so hence the big mess there. Using some labels and just sort of finding what kind of embellishments I want to use and pulling colors out. Just because you pull colors out or are trying, it doesn't mean you have to use them. And that's what's really fun about Project Life is you can do as much embellishing or as little embellishing as you want. For this one, I did a really nice cross between not having too much and not having too little. At least I thought that, in my opinion. I've definitely noticed that my style has been changing lately to be a bit more clean looking, and so it's been really interesting for me to really be thinking a bit more about how I'm going to be placing my embellishments and what they're going to be instead of just putting them down. And I think it's great when you see styles evolve. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I know that in the past, I definitely have put stuff on because I liked it, and sometimes I may have overdone it. But I feel like lately, I haven't been doing that as much, and I've been really making a conscious thought process about what I put down. Because of that, this video is like almost 12 minutes long, and I don't like to do anything over 10 minutes, and I honestly cut out as much as I felt I could, but you don't want to cut out too much at all either. So my video had quit, so yeah, this would have been even longer actually. So maybe it's a good thing. I had just used these alpha thickers, and you can't see, it's very hard to see in the video, but I think you can see a bit better when it comes to the still photos at the end. But these are white with this beautiful silver stripe in the middle of, like, through them in these lines. It is, I want to say it's the Amy Tangerine ones, and I know I got them from a Studio Calico sale. I hadn't used them yet till right now, but they are absolutely gorgeous. So really, really love them. And then I actually used them on my next spread, which will be I think it's the Project Life 15 is what one I called it. So now I did some label layering on the picture of my daughter in her room, and our barbecue was really dirty, and so I didn't really think of that. But as I was looking at the picture up against everything else, I thought maybe I'm going to try and hide a little bit of the not cleanness of the barbecue. So that's why I did 2 of the little clusters of the labels for this whole spread. So again, using lots of white though, and just bringing a little bit of the greens into it as well, so that you get a more cohesive look and a cohesive layout. I'm just trying to decide what to do right here with this card. I absolutely love it. It's hard to see, but those are little strikes. So it's, where you do like the 4 lines and then a diagonal line to say 5. That's what that is. So it's the red with the white strikes on it, and I just think it's really cute. I just love it. So I ended up just doing a little tiny cut apart label. I don't even remember what it says. I think maybe it says collect moments or something like that. But I thought it's just nice and little and simple. And then I couldn't really decide what to do on this picture. It was definitely the one that my whole spreads and the colors were built around. So when I did finally decide, I ended up just doing some journaling around it, and I think it's perfect that way. I know at one point I thought maybe I would do something else with it, or maybe add a little bit more embellishment, but I think it's actually perfect just how it is. These 2 cards right here, my daughter got quite sick that week, and so I had taken this picture of her and I sent it to my husband, and she was just, all she did was lay on me for about 2 straight days, and she would not let go of me. She didn't want anyone else to hold her, so it was a very long couple days, but I did want to document that too, because like I've said before, Project Life is about the good and the bad, and the tough times as well. So I wanted to journal a little bit on this picture, but my white was not working. So I ended up pulling out a label and journaling on the label. And of course, you could still sort of see the white lines on the picture, as I would have preferred the label to be a little more off to the side. But I needed to cover those white lines that I had tried to draw in there with my ink, with my pen ink. There we go. I am using this one as a flip pocket, so all I did was attach it. And then I'm just doing a little bit of embellishing as well on the outside. I have this stamp set. It is called Label That, and it is by Kelly Stamps. And all I did was stamp in the colors that I was using, some circles, and I just think it's lots of fun. I apologize, it's sort of off, it's sort of below where you can actually see, but I do move it up so you are able to see it. And so I just used the green and the black, bringing again in the green color and then black because that's what I've been using. I did consider doing red, and the reason I didn't go with red was because I felt that was going to be too much red on that card. So that's why I went with the black. And then again, just grabbing another label. This is from, I want to say that the label was from the same stamp set. And then I stamped, I can't remember what I stamped on there. It's too little to see, but you'll be able to see it, I think, in the stills that you'll see later on. And I am almost done this or what seems like a very, very long layout for me. And I know when I was actually doing it, it felt like it was a lot longer. Though at the beginning, I did choose all my cards, which I have to say you don't usually see me do. Usually I have the cards all ready to go. And I decided, oh, you guys could see something a little bit different this time. And using again these beautiful thickers, and I spelt out these moments, and it's a little off center, but that's okay. I like it. It just adds a little bit more detail and a little bit, extra dimension to things. This spread is definitely one of my favorite ones that I've done in a while. I love all the red in it, and I love the little pops of green. I find I don't use green nearly as much as I maybe should, because once I use it, I love it. I just want to say thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and if you commented, thank you so much for your comments. You can always find me on Instagram as well at Create Life Paper Words. Thanks again. Bye.